Okay, here we go. So, I haven't got many videos up on my YouTube account, but the one question I am getting through each time I put a video up is how do I find the byways and the green lanes that I use? The answer to that question is this app here, which is called Viewranger. I'm just going to record my screen so I can put this up on the video as well. It's called Viewranger. Set up a profile, and then basically this is like the home screen, so you see the map. I'm in Kent, so you can view kind of the area. And basically, if you go to your filter option, show more activity types, you can untick everything and just tick Greenlaning as an option for it. Adventure motorbiking, quad biking I've got ticked as well. So that's the three things I've got ticked, and then it will just show you routes that people have uploaded within that category. And you can see down here, it comes up with the route options. It tells you kind of the difficulty level, easy, medium, hard, the length of time it's taken them to do it, and also the length, you know, so there it says 30 miles. So let's just, if I go onto my own profile, you can follow me on Viewranger as well, and obviously if you've got any questions, just drop me a message, but follow me on Viewranger. I'll put the link in the description, and then you can save routes to your kind of profile and come back to them. So you've got the route you want. How do you follow it? This is how you follow it. So let's say, for example, I want to use this route here. You click on it and you click start route. Okay, and it comes up saying start route, you're too far from the route. So basically, if you're at home and you're not at the start of the track, it's going to say that you're too far from it. So you can either start from where you are and kind of find your way to it, or I usually click get directions, and then it links up with Google Maps, and it will basically give you the fastest route to that particular, you know, just as Google Maps does. And it will take you right to the start of the route, and you just follow Google Maps as you would normally. Now, annoyingly, that's not actually the route I want to do, because I know where I am, and I just want to get to the start of just around the corner. So if I do this one, this is actually one of my own routes. So once you know, if you have already got a bag of green lanes that you know that are in your memory bank, you know, it's good to download this app, and then you can record your track, if you like, with the app, and it will basically draw the green lanes for you, and you can then share them with other people, or just good to kind of have them saved, and then it's easier to follow, I think, sometimes. Right, so get directions, and it will basically now, oh, I cocked it all up anyway. Start route, get directions, here we go, and it's going to take me there. So it's saying 9 minutes, it's not 9 minutes away, it thinks I'm walking because I'm so close. So you've got that up, Google Maps, here we go. And then you just basically follow the route that Google Maps is saying to the start of the route. And now I'm using a new setup today with my audio, and my camera actually is new as well. So I'm hoping this video turns out alright, but I'm sorry if the audio messes up. That's my own fault, and I will work on it, and I probably won't even upload this video if that is the case. So we're 0.3 miles away now, so it's just around this corner. Like I said, I've done this route many a time, and for any of you local to Kent, you'll know exactly where I'm going, because it's the start of Pilgrim's Way. hill here. I think my bike sounds different. I usually put 99 unleaded in, and I put 95 in today because they didn't have any 99, and it just sounds a bit rumbly. Anyway, okay. So you've got to where Google Maps has told you to go. Just click end route and then go back onto your Viewranger app. And then once you're here, you can just click start route. Alright, and then here is your own tracking. So this menu basically is asking you, what activity you're doing. I'll put adventure motorbiking. And then this is the map that you're going to see. So it's a little bit different because they use ordnance surveys maps. So it's a little bit different to your GPS because it's not, although it is tracking you on GPS, you're following an ordnance survey map. I hope I'm right when I talk about this. I might be completely wrong, but that's my understanding. So it's still absolutely fine. I usually just zoom in so I can just see kind of about 50 meters ahead of me on the route. And then if you click that middle thing, it will turn the screen. So like now, that, I'm hoping it will show on this camera, but if not, I'll put the recording up. That is now basically showing me the route that I'm about to travel on. And like I say, you can zoom in or you can zoom out just with 2 fingers, depending on kind of, however you like to do it. You can change the angle that you're looking at it from, but that for me is how I like to do it. And then as soon as you've clicked start route, it's now tracking your route. So if you want to if you stop for a drink, you can pause the track by doing that. If you're completely done, you can click finish, and then it will finish, and then that will save into your tracks folder on your profile. And then your tracks folder, it will show you everything: the length, the date you did it, start time, end time, ascent, your moving time, your pause time, the elevation of the route. And if you want to share it with other people, you just go. It says, you click these 3 dots up here, and you click upload track, I believe. I might be wrong actually. I thought you just went down here. Oh yeah, there we go, sorry. So if you've done a route, you go down and you click create route from track, and then that will basically upload it onto your routes profile, and you can then share that with other people who have the app and whatever. Okay, right, on that note, I'm just going to quickly pause the cameras and we'll do a little bit of riding.
Back to it now, and I'm going to just do a little bit of a ride because I want you to see what it looks like when we're riding as well. So, what route is it I was going to do? This one. Adventure motorbiking, and then we're back to it. So I'm going to just zoom in a bit there. Centre the page, that's absolutely fine for me.
Oh no. Oh, something's not right with her. It's a shame. Hopefully we'll be okay. So here we go, we're following the route now. I don't know how much of this screen you can see, hopefully it's fairly visible. But you basically just follow the blue line, and it's just tracking you the whole way. I've done this route quite a few times now, so I'm fairly confident with where I'm going. Now, some of the routes I've noticed, people upload them and they take you onto the BOATS, which I need to work out what it stands for still. But basically they're like sections that you need a permit to drive on. So just be wary of that. You know, you might download a route and then you do it, and actually you're not permitted to drive on those lanes. Obviously, I know some people just do it anyway, but just making you aware of that. Fortunately, a lot of the routes that I follow are great. You know, it's such a good app, I think, especially if you're new to Greenlaning. Because like for me, I usually go out on my own, and I'm fairly new to doing it. Fucking hell. So it was a good app to use, because now I know a lot of my local green lanes, and if I want to, I can venture out. Like with the app, you can just move the map to a different section, and it will a different section. Sorry, right. Let me just rewind a little bit there. You can move the map to different areas. You know, so if you're going to Surrey next week, or you're going to Birmingham, or I don't know, wherever, you're going to Lake District, Scotland, you can just with your fingers move the map, and it will then show you lanes in those areas, basically. Now, to some of you, this might be really self-explanatory what I'm saying, but I've had a few people message me who have said they're shit with technology, they're not very good on apps and stuff like that, so I'm trying to explain this in as easy as way as I can. Like I say, if you've got any questions, just message me. And if you're in Kent, then I'm happy to come out and go for a ride. Oh, it's rained today and it's a bit boggy now. Yeah, so I've got a new camera. I did some research. I can't afford a GoPro, so I bought an 8-man A100, and apparently that's the next best thing. They're about 3 times less than a GoPro, and they do 4K video. Oh Christ, that's boggy. They do 4K video at 50 frames per second. GoPros do 4K at 60 frames per second, and there's not much. That's a budget action camera that matches that. Anyway, this is boring stuff. Let me do some riding. So obviously you can see as well, if you go onto the road, you know, it's still part of the route, so you just follow it. So I'm just going to stop here. Oh, he says. There we go. So, we followed the route on Viewranger. I'm not going to do the whole route because I just want it to be a fairly, you know, quick video. But once you've finished, if you come to the end, just click pause, and then you can pause the track if you know you're going to come back to it or whatever. But if you are finished, just click finish, and it will come up saying the distance you've covered, how long it's taken you. You can name it, so you know if you're in a different area, or if you want to, you know, you started somewhere different, you can name that, put the activity type, add any photos, and then who can see this? Only me, if you obviously want it to be private and you don't want anyone else knowing about your routes, or everyone, and then you can share it with other people, and then just save the tracks, and it will go into your bank of saved tracks. And that, guys, is basically a really basic tutorial on how to use Viewranger and how to find maybe some different routes in your area. Alright, cheers and see you later.